What's up, y'all? Tanisha Bella Moore here. So, dealing with the glow ticket topics tips for the day. Dealing with cancer children, I myself have had a daughter, and she is a particular sign from June, and towards the end of the month as well. So she is a particular cancer, and since I'm a Scorpio, it's a way to discipline them that's really unique to just being myself as a Scorpion parent. Now, a Scorpion parent having a Cancerian child is different because of the simple fact that, yes, my own temper to deal with all of their drama because Cancer is so full of it. Like every Cancer that I've ever known has just been extremely dramatic or just full of shit. So I'm constantly having to check my temper in order to make sure that I raise a child successfully. Now, that's not easy, especially when I realized that I sworn off cancers at one point in time as well. I didn't want to be bothered with nobody else's thoughts, especially that was this sign in particular speaking. And usually we are good. I do love having this type of relationship though. I mean, I don't really think that having another sign was something that was going to be of a benefit at that particular point in time. And I don't know why I feel that way either, truth be told. I just don't. I'm just like, no, whatever reasons that was supposed to have been, this is the reason why you're here. So that's just really how we just go ahead and on and kind of sort of make that a reality necessarily, so to speak. But it doesn't mean much, you know what I mean? People just always are going to be assuming that everybody always is like, oh yeah, you're a cancer parent. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I see my daughter, she most likely is going to grow up and she's going to turn into a mother if all goes well. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she'll not have children. Maybe it'll just cease at that particular moment, too. Who knows? I know myself, I don't really want to have any more children. I don't really have another aptitude for any other really like drama that deals with other entities for their thoughts. And like, that's just not where I'm at right now. And truth is, not always is just that pretty. It's just not. I mean, we prefer being around prettiness, but sometimes we prefer to be around prettiness for the wrong reasons. Sometimes we can want to be around that to necessarily soak up their energy and then go and harvest it somewhere else. And then you leave something a little more depleted than how you found it. And again, who's going to want to be around it? And so that pretty thought, I give you an example. I was shopping one day, I think at a Walmart here in Mineral, Ohio. And I had my daughter at that point in time, and she was saying something up to me, whatever reason. I don't know why she said this, but she was just saying how pretty that she was, and she's cute, and she's this, and she's that, a white woman. And I thought to myself, like, well, that's it. Like, you're not saying that she's beautiful. She's got this great intellect, and she can probably dissect 9 and 9 at 3.5. Like, it's just all about, she's so pretty. And I thought to myself, so she's pretty and dumb, basically. That's what she said. That you got a pretty daughter, but she's just pretty and that's it. So she's just pretty. She has no character traits that are charming, that's going to help her level her life to the status of somebody that she thought is truly one of the greatest women alive. Like, that's all that I thought when I saw this young lady and she approached us and said what she did to my baby. I was shocked. It's like, see, I can't shop anymore. Like, I don't even want to be bothered with that scene. And as a Scorpion woman, I don't have to want to be around the crowds at this point. And so what I've been doing lately rather heavily is dealing with the drop-offs. So you can go, I use Giant Eagle here, and they have a little list that you can go through and you can say the slots and whatever times that you want to be bothered with certain things. And then you go forth and you select it and you put it forth and then they show up. I don't have to go out. I don't have to be subjected to the other people's thoughts and thinking patterns when it's not even what I'm here to shop for. So now I'm here to shop for not even just toiletries, but your comments about my baby. And so, again, as a temper with dealing with a specific entity as a Scorpion mother, I have to try to direct. I read a quote. I don't know who said this for whatever reasons, but they were telling us, in particular speaking for women, that when we were angry and dealing with the breakups, that we were supposed to take a kickboxing course and kick this shit out the boxes. That's what they said. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. I didn't took a few courses and defenses and kicked some ass because that was what was necessarily to do based off what was done. And if any, much like this female. So the fact that you only want to see my daughter look a certain way, and that's all that mattered to you, you would be like the damn kickbox. I'm kickboxing your ass because of what you just said. Just like they suggest that you do. It's amazing. So now I got to tip an extra $10 somewhere else just to avoid all of that. Now, is it worth it? Maybe not to some people. To me, myself personally speaking, is it? Yeah, me thinking on my own. Yeah, it's worth every dollar. And it's triple worth a good tip if they're really cool, or if I have a budget set in place, or as an entrepreneur, when have you ever not have to stay within your own budget? People are known to give you budgets, much like a deadline. If you ain't following your deadline or your budget, what they do, they kick you out, they get you the boot. They don't want to be bothered with you. They don't want to be around you. They don't want your energy anywhere around them to contaminate what they're thinking about. And you can't get mad at them. You can't find any reason to be mad with how they think because of what you did. It's not going to work that way. We can trick ourselves if we want to have a life full of just constantly wanting crap. Then that's on you. But ultimately, at the end of the day, don't nobody have to go anywhere else and have any other ultimatum besides what they have on mind in their forefront. And the fact that we are so willing to just say whatever because we think that we can, because we're so close to someone, is another problem with our culture as we speak. So when it comes to discipline, it's really about the examples that you set. And as a mother and as a certain entity that, like I said, I can only speak of what I noticed is a Cancer and Scorpio relationship. So when I run across other entities who are Scorpios, I notice the differences immediately. I've seen twin Scorpios. I've seen Scorpios who are celebrities who just have it all. I've seen celebrities who just got thousands of baby mothers. They rich, so they only are after but so many things when it comes to how they look at people through their eyes. And so you have to really keep everything in perspective. You have other Scorpios who are just talkative, who just have all these issues. You have Scorpios who just don't really want to be bothered with nothing. They start to kind of sort of lose how they think about it. So you just got to be mindful. And it's really difficult to find a true persona who is not warped and all of that. Do you know how difficult that can be? That's extremely trying. And it goes to show that it's not for everybody. Businesses is not for everybody. Conducting yourself with one person for the rest of your life isn't for everybody. How many cheaters is it? How many divorces is it? I just saw that Ben Affleck was dropping comments. I didn't even go and look. I didn't even have the patience to scroll through and read word for word what it was that you wanted to discuss about somebody else. Why? I don't even have the patience any longer to even, there's so many court battles that goes on between us as parental figures because we just can't stand the other person. I mean, how much drama is it that's needed in order for people just to simply wake up, do what it is that you're supposed to have did? Why is it a constant battle back and forth between everybody all day long? Why is it such a idea to emphasize prettiness over having wit and understanding and smarts about how you attack books in the same method as it is that you go about meticulously applying your lipstick or your eyeshadow or your eyeliner or whatever mascara that you wanted to have did for whatever the day had may been? How many colors do they have? They got thousands of damn colors to go across every outfit that we can ever imagine. But how often is it that girls want to compete for things that are uplifting than we do for the next guy or the next dude somewhere else, and then go to bat and want to do the craziest things because it's all about looks? So yes, I'm willing to spend extra to avoid all of this. That's the answer. And why not be so willing to cough it up if it's going to allow myself to experience a mode where I can have flow and you're not taken from it? Because of some foolishness that you cannot master. I'll give you another example. A lady walked up one day and she was saying something. I was going this way. And immediately I was like, well, hold on. What's the purpose of you saying what you did when you can't even do something that aids in how I enter into my own flow? So immediately now it's a problem. And so the lady, what she did was she said something about the proper term that she wanted. The proper term, this is according to somebody else's thoughts. Again, mind you, has nothing to do with entrepreneurs' thoughts or processes or thinking or how to scale or how to enter and flow. Nothing. It only had to deal with this one particular entity. And so this goes to show you, much like the lady who will say something and only wants you to look a certain way, but wants you to be dumb at the same time, because that's all that matters to them. It's how you look. And then instead of necessarily encouraging people to go to do whatever else and help their educational thoughts be able to process and help all the different little places, whatever else, as long as you look good, don't nothing else matter. That's it. And so it goes to show you how often at the times that this is what we really truly prefer over being around somebody else who really know what it is that they're talking about. So if you approaching me and the first thing that you can spot is something else that's outside instead of dealing with what you got going on, you're a failure. And you failed so horribly. You feel so horribly that you really cannot even say nothing else about your mouth besides what it was that you did say. That's amazing. So now, not only are you known for being a person who can't do nothing in order to help somebody else do what it is that they doing, and it shows because now all of a sudden we have to deal with the vibratory issues of what you causing. Because instead of just simply being aware and being mindful, being more inclined to exercise or work on yourself and help your business and scale, because you got to be employed. I mean, why else in the world is you even here if you don't even have a source of freaking income that actually is a labor of love that helps you and allow myself or anybody else that's around you? So now you have to realize that you're failing these issues over and over and over again. And you're doing so in public, probably, so it's other prying eyes. And then eventually it's going to get to the point where, oh, okay, now you over here and you done said something else to somebody else. And me being me as an entrepreneur, I know how I can balance a temper, but still have the acronym where I can say, oh, wow, okay, bro, you on one, something that's wrong with you. And go ahead on over here and let you sit in that for a second and figure it out. And if you not, and if you do, that'll be something that you reap. Now, I don't have nothing to do with that. And that just goes to show, again, a level of discipline. Maybe this person doesn't have discipline. Maybe you lack discipline. Maybe you don't want to give yourself discipline. Maybe you just so focused on somebody else's proper terms that you fail to discipline yourself. Or hang out with yourself. Go on a dinner date with yourself. Be able to say, hi, self, I love you. Oh, I love you too, self. And instead, you just quick to say, oh, yeah. And that's how you come across. Now, again, who wants to be bothered with that type of entity? The same way that you avoid other people who are annoying, you will also learn that it's actually common to want to be around entities who are uplifting and encouraging to you. And then not necessarily, so to speak, so quick to always want to correct something that they don't even do with themselves. How you gonna ask somebody else to have a form of discipline in order to scale their businesses, and you not even actually making sure that whatever it is that I'm living is enhanced by our encounter? You're not doing that, because if you were, then the whole entire mode, it would be a non-reason to have any form of word spoken. It'll be so freaking flow and easy to freaking communicate. It is no need for words. But no, that's not what we do. So, having a child that's a cancer and dealing with cancers in general is just not easy. That's what I've learned. I've seen many different cancers as well. Some of them have been chatty. Some of them have been to the point where it just got them in brutal situations where it's just been something she was best just to avoid it altogether. And that's just how those type of ideas are. You've never really reciprocated anything else other than those problems, and it's obvious as to why. So it's really no reason to get mad, to get upset, to get sad. It's just a fact of nature at this point, and it's really nothing that we can do about it. Because when we did have a chance, we chose what we did. So that's how you have to necessarily put those thoughts in the back of your mind. I've seen another cancer before too, was extremely moody, extremely moody. And I thought to myself, well, damn, what is the purpose of having a person around that's constantly this damn moody? And so as the time goes on, you have to really figure out what's the purpose. Can you come up with one? Is it something that resonates with what it is that you want to achieve? If not, then how are you going to make your life reflect what it is that you want to achieve that has something to do with the more thought that's geared towards what it is that you want to achieve? And once you figure that answer out, it'll go head on and do its little dance right around all of the thoughts that you think about in order to help you scale your business. And you really have to learn how to allow those things to manifest and take place like that. I read and they were talking about how, I think it was in conflict resolution. So if anybody don't know what conflict resolution is, conflicts are when things are arising and it causes some kind of confrontation, and how you can de-escalate is how you necessarily learn how to scale. So when you're scaling because you de-escalated some things, and that allows you to figure everything out. So when everybody's acting crazy and they got all these problems and everybody has something to say and they think they just gonna be able to say whatever, the point comes where you have to learn how to actually handle these confrontations. And every time you do the confrontations, you realize that everybody ain't what they seem. Every time somebody has something to say, every time you assume that everybody is one way, it'll be over and over and over and over repeated lessons that no, it's not. And you have to learn how to become comfortable with dealing with that. So again, that's my glow ticket topic tip. Be comfortable with things appearing not as you originally thought that they were. And that's ultimately how you'll scale, how you'll flow, and how you ultimately are going to necessarily do what's right and what's necessarily the best for you, Suzanne, as a person, as a mother, father, as a good person, as a church goer, as an employee, an employer, as a worker, as an whatever, auntie, cousins, however you want to call whatever it is that you aim as seeing yourself fit for whatever you want to accomplish. And it's really nobody else's job to do besides us. And when we take responsibility, we're just basically going to go hit onto a trajectory. We just skyrocket. And that's really all that we really need to do at this point in time. It's nothing else to it but to do it. So hopefully this helps somebody. I haven't been having a chats out. I haven't been wanting to hear much else for anybody right now. So that's what you're seeing if you're curious about that. And then next, what is that, Monday? I want to say we're in Thursday. Happy Easter. Hopefully we'll have some fun. I know myself, hopefully y'all have been snacking and eating. I know me, people try to diet, and as we get older, it's just always about looks again and dieting and whatever else. But I am not the type of entity, Queen Latifah is really like, I'm not a salad eating chick. Like, you got to really learn how to be confident enough in what you think about. And that's another glow ticket topic tip. Be confident enough that you can do what you want regardless of the consequences. They can lock you up. They can spit on you. They can throw your name in the dirt. They can think you ain't just going to be nothing else but a pretty man or woman or child or godly thought of, or whatever the case may have been. And you continuously do whatever it is that you choose to do, and it ultimately allows them to see things as they actually are and the fact, so that they can think whatever, but they'll always have to understand that, oh wow, damn, I was wrong. Oh damn, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Oh damn, okay, well damn, I gotta bite my tongue a little bit. Maybe it's gonna bleed. I don't know. Maybe they saw it off. I don't know. Maybe you gonna gnaw it off too. But it's not gonna change the fact that we were supposed to have did something else that we didn't do it. So at the end, when everything else is wrapping itself up in a beautiful little bow, and you had a curtain drawn, as Rihanna says, and whatever, take a bow. Okay, then you realize that half of the time that people are not really willing to allow you to enter into some flow is normally some kind of issue that they have chosen to not address. So the glow ticket topic tip is to address your issues, address what's taking place with you, address what's going on in your household, with your family members, with whatever you see, especially when you think nobody else is around watching you, or whatever the case may have been. Ultimately, you'll benefit from that. Nobody else will. You are. And once they see that you will, maybe they'll choose to act similarly. So therefore, they'll have some benefits as well. So again, discipline, especially when it comes to dealing with Scorpion and Cancers. I wish you the best of luck. If that's something that you are not necessarily trying to do yet, maybe you may have some kind of entities that are maybe just your coworkers, maybe they're not even kids or children for whatever reasons. You can do it. Just really try your very best to stay true to who you are. That's the first and foremost. And as long as you do that, then most likely everything else is really not going to be a problem, going to be an issue. And that's just what it is. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, things things like that. If y'all are here for the first time, make sure y'all subscribe. And again, if you have any questions or whatever like that, I will be back on, so you can always try to reach out if you like on the other platforms as well. But again, just always trying to make sure that everything that you're doing is something that's really going to aid and figure things out, that's going to end in a positive note. Because as soon as somebody else has some kind of issue, always just realize that issue is not within anything that's going on with any entrepreneurs out there. It's always going to be whatever this entity is lacking to do, that they see in you, that they are may necessarily wanting to have some kind of issue with self, and because they refuse to behave as do this certain type of whatever issue with themselves, they won't ever really choose that type of path, and that's not where you want to be at. So my glow ticket topic tip is going to just be avoid something like that. Avoid their energy. Don't go back around it. Don't go and search it out. Don't look for it. Let it go wherever it's going, and watch how the universe will ultimately repay you. Okay, I think we're going to end it here. Have a good night. If y'all have any other questions, I look forward to seeing y'all again. It'll be at the same time. I'm a little early. Usually we do about 6 o'clock, but it's 5:30 now. But I wanted to kind of sort of go ahead on. And I don't really think there's nothing else that I really need to say. So anyway, I hope these GTT has been something that was a little helpful.